going on, all-terrain nation? Two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these doorless vehicles that I'm about to drive. This is your all-terrain nation, and I'm your host, David Boyd. And that is right. Today we are going to take the doors off of the Bronco. Finally. It's been so long trying to get this to happen, and if you watched the latest video, you know the Bronco's been in the shop. We had a little oil leak with this thing, not from the motor, but from the differential. Fixed, ready to go have some fun again. But we've yet to be able to take the doors off on this thing, and while that's been part of the fun of these style vehicles is to go, take the top off and go doorless, we've just not yet to do that, and it's June already. And yes, I'm kind of bummed, but while we've never taken the doors off this thing, we have taken the doors off of the old classic over there, the Jeep Gladiator. We'll say a modern classic because this is the truck version. This is the Jeep Gladiator. Now, guess what? The doors are exactly the same on that as they are the Wrangler. So I don't want to hear anybody going, well, they're completely different. No, they're not completely different at all. The way they operate in removal is all the same. So let's jump into this video. Let's see which one is easier and which one do I think is better riding around without the doors. So let's do this right now. All right, so let's get into what each vehicle is here. The Contender and the old Champ there. So this is a 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. That's right. So it's got the sway disconnect and all that. It's very Rubicon-like. I wish I had a Rubicon over here, but I don't right now. But this is basically the Rubicon package. But with the Sasquatch package, you're getting 35-inch tires. Well, small or tall 34s, we'll say. But they claim they are 35s. Now, while this thing has been a lot of fun, the independent suspension on this thing makes this thing ride like a dream versus the old dinosaur over there that I still love. But definitely there are some differences in drive comparison. But the doors, these are half doors and these are full doors. So let's talk about the Jeep real quick and we'll go from there. All right, this is our 2021 Jeep Gladiator Willys edition. Basically what it is, it's like a Sport Plus. So you get a little bit of the Rubicon stuff, but it's not really, you don't get any lockers or any of the fun parts of it. Now, while we've changed a few things about it, like the bumpers, of course, we've changed the bumpers on here as well. Everything else is pretty stock, including the doors. Now, while we have done one slight modification that I will get into when we go to do the removal, something that's made the Jeep doors super easy. Between the both, I'm going to say probably the Jeep is going to be easier to take off, but we've not done this one yet. So let's find out. But first, I want to describe each door in detail. The Jeep door, classic, full frame door, and part of the classic look of the Jeep is that it still has that kind of 1940s look to it. Now, while the way they mount the doors is very unique. You've got these hinges on here and you've got bolts. Normally you've got bolts under here that kind of keep the door from people stealing your door. I've actually removed those. There's some parts on Amazon. You can see these little metal plates right there. You just screw them into where the bolts go and it makes the doors slide off super easy. But as you can see, there's hinges on this. So it kind of makes it easier to put on and put off. Now, while Ford kind of got the essence of what makes the Wranglers and the Gladiators cool, they opted for the more smooth approach. They didn't want anything down there to kind of, they wanted this body line to look smooth. And while it looks really smooth, how are we going to get the doors back on and off? I don't know. We're about to stumble through this together, so let's do that right now. All right, now it's recommended for each brand, no matter what, we're going to roll these windows down. That's just, they put the window in the door and it keeps it from getting damaged, which is pretty smart. So either way we do this, we're going to have to roll the windows down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, and we'll take this door off. All right, Jeep knows how to do this. They've done this for a long time. And they've really perfected it from maybe 2004 on with the JK on up. They really perfected how to do this. And they knew by then what their audience wanted. They want to take the doors off conveniently. So they've made in the JTs and the JL series, they've made this really, really simple. Now, while the old Jeeps used to not have any kind of locking mechanism, so when you open the door, it just flew out. The new modern Jeeps, they have the little spots where you can stop it, and as you can see, it just does what it's supposed to, which is okay, but it does complicate things on getting this door off because now you've got a bolt here that we're gonna have to take off. But before that, let's get into showing you the removal of this door, and we'll go from there.
So to get started, Jeep actually gives you most of the tools that you want and need for this project is actually in this fun little kit. It has all your little toys. It also has an instruction manual in case you need it for the first time, which I will be honest, we did use this the first time, so we could just make sure we were doing it right. But after you've done it a couple of times, you don't need it anymore. But it's got everything you need here. Plus, I actually use a flathead screwdriver because that actually just helps me with one part of this, which you'll see here in just a moment.
All right, so there you see the safety strap, which actually holds the wiring harness into the door itself. You've got the back here, you can see this is the little mechanism that keeps the door from slinging into somebody else's car doors, which is new for this model year. And then we have the plastic case here, which just should pop right off, as you can see. Pops right off, and well, part of the complication is that little connection right there, which we use the flathead screwdriver, and somebody in the comments probably knows better, but we just needed to do that. Now, while you could get your fingernails up under there, I just feel like the added tool just makes it a little bit easier. Now, next up, we've got this hinge, or this strap right here, the safety strap. Don't do it just yet. And why I say that is, you want to unscrew this because you do not want this sliding up into the door. So you want to leave that kind of popped out the way it is. So Kelly's going to get her multi-tool, as you can see right there. She's going to get out her handy dandy little Jeep accessory tool, as you can see there, and it's labeled Jeep, so you know it's cool. So now all we do is we unratchet this thing and loosen it up. All right, so let's unhook this right there, pretty easy, and you tuck the cable into the netting, and then I'll come over and remove the door. All right, so grab the doors. There's a couple handles on here, but what I found is you just lift straight up, and as you can see here, let's take a look at these mounts. So we bought these on Amazon. These little screws, they replace the little plugs that the bolts that you would need to take these doors off. I find this more convenient because we're going to take the doors on and off quite a bit. So let's go store this door and go from there. Nothing ultra complicated about it. Luckily, like I said, Jeep does these hangers on the kind of the outside, which when you put them back on, just makes it a lot easier. Now, we're not going to show putting them back on and off because I just want to really just showcase how easy both brands are to take the doors off. But that's the look of the doors gone. But the problem with Jeep is, what do we see here? We got a mirror built in. Now we got to add mirrors to this thing. So let's go get our mirrors. Kind of the bummer of Jeep though is we've got these mirrors that we have to attach, which that's first world problems. It's not the most difficult thing at all to add these. You definitely want them, check your local states, but you definitely want to run mirrors on this thing. I will say I did it once without it and it was a nightmare driving. So I definitely recommend getting yourself these. I think these were maybe 20 bucks or so on Amazon. They were pretty cheap, and for safety wise, they're well needed. But pretty one bolt to install, pretty easy to do, but it's just one more extra feature we got to add to this thing to make it street legal. All right, just like Jeep, you get a bag. This is a little bit bigger bag though, and I'll be honest, I know Kelly's opened this for a video. I've not actually ever opened this thing to see what's all in it. Okay, well, looks like we get our part number there in case you ever lose this. Like, I guess you can get another one. But we've got looks like we got all the little tools you would expect, little sockets, little keys if you want to use a drill. You got the little longer little L key there. Let's see if you can see that. So you can get in those tight spots, and I guess we'll figure this out. So here is the Bronco bags for the doors, and as you can see, this is the back door, this is the front door. You can see the size comparison, they're just much different in size. Got the little handles, as you can see up there for them. You just slide these over the door, but we got to unbolt the door first, so let's get to that. Just like the Jeep, this is your window controls and all that, but Ford you got this this is what's holding it together. Also use it to cover the plug when you take the door off, but it kind of keeps this in as well. So let's see, so Kelly's got the door bag in her hand, and Kelly, were each one of these labeled for which door they are? Or is
they
it just...
weren't. You just have to kind of use your educated decision that I figured the Bronco probably goes out and the upper end goes here.
Yeah, that makes sense. So now you just slide this over the door, correct?
Yep, you just unzip it. It doesn't fully unzip. It only unzips down the side.
Okay.
And then it says put it on a clean door, but how often is your door really going to be clean? Let's be honest. Slide it on. And then it's ready for us to take off the door and then zip it up.
To be honest, this is not the easiest spot to get this in, especially versus the Jeep. This is a lot more difficult. Now, you know, you just need to, it looks like just really break it free there, and they're unscrewing fairly easy once you do that. And you can see it's a pretty long bolt, so it's probably got a lot of force on it when it's actually in use. But there's one bolt, the bottom one. like I said, they're pretty tight, but you know, nothing ridiculous. So you just basically break it free, and by then it's just finger tight. So, and this is the first door we've ever done with Bronco, so pretty exciting. And once again, it's a smaller bolt on the bottom. And after that, it looks like we're ready to take this off. So we got these handles here. What else, Kelly? You're supposed to...
And then I have a handle here. It does say recommended to have 2 people to do this.
It's just, you want to be careful. So let's see. I picked up. Wow.
You want to set down and zip?
That's pretty easy.
One and done.
One and done.
What I like about Jeep that does it differently, and honestly I think better than the Bronco, is actually where you store all of your bolts and your tools. So you have your kit that we showed you earlier how to use it, but you also have this whole storage box, really. So this is all for your outside bolts of your doors. This is for that inside hinge that we showed you. Now when we take our hard top off, this is where the rest of the bolts actually go. So there's no losing them. I don't remember what I did with them. It's all right here.
And the cool thing is, like I said earlier, I don't put these back in the Jeep doors. As you can see, they're sleeved. I just use those little parts on Amazon. I think they work out better. Not that these are that difficult to take off, but it is probably adds another 10-15 minutes to the project that didn't need to be there. So once again, I agree with you, Kelly. I think this, because they have the storage box under the seat, and this is for Wrangler or Gladiator, and the Bronco just doesn't have that. So let's look at what where we might store the stuff for the Bronco.
This is where we're landing, glove compartment, which kind of stinks because you're losing pretty significant glove compartment space. I will say that is the one thing about the Bronco that I really wish we had more of in here, and really why our slipstream is actually going to work quite a bit for us, because it all gets to have to be pushed to the back because there's no room under the seats. We just took up a whole bunch of our glove compartment. We've got a little bit of space in our console, but overall, where else are you gonna put things?
So there's taking the doors off of either or. Obviously there's plus and minuses to both systems. I'm gonna say, as of right now, since we've only done the Bronco once, I'm gonna probably say I'm team Jeep right now. I think overall, they've perfected how easy it is. They know their customer base, and while Ford knows the customer base, they're probably still kind of learning, and I think with the next generation or so, they're gonna tweak this and make it a lot better. Now, overall though, the bummer about the Jeep is, as you can see, I had to add side mirrors to this thing. With the Bronco, we still got the ears sticking out there, ready to go. They're ready to party. I like to party. Do you like to party? Because either way, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Kelly, where are you at with this?
I'm really indifferent. I think the ease of the Jeep was easier to get off, but we've adapted to that. Yeah. Pretty good at doing it. We've done it. I will say that the Jeep doors really seem a lot heavier, maybe not heavier, but a lot more awkward, because of the shape that they are and how big they are.
But I find that shape to be handy when trying to pick the doors off. Having the actual full door there does make it easier, but there's a lot more to store with that. Now, what I had my problem with when I took the doors off the Bronco, they're awkward. If you didn't have those bags and a helper,
I can see that.
I mean, I'm sure there's somebody in the comments gonna be like, dude, what are you talking about? I take the doors off by myself all the time. I'm being very cautious because I don't want to. We've talked about this.
We've seen too many horror stories.
Well, that, and it's a hard color to find anymore.
It is.
But so I just don't want to just beat the crap and scratch the doors off. But either way, these things are a lot of fun. And you know what I think we need to do?
Take the top off.
We need to take the tops off and go have some fun in these things. So whether it be two-wheel drive,
four-wheel drive,
it does not matter what you drive. This has been your All Terrain Nation, and we've been comparing the Jeep and Bronco here on the channel.
And today we're driving both.